guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just want to apologize, number one, for my appearance because I look crazy. I don't have any mascara on and I don't have any brows on, but as you guys can probably tell from the title, today is going to be a very requested video and this is my brow tutorial. Now first I'm going to talk a little bit about brows and products and all that good stuff, and then we're gonna get into the tutorial. So let's get started. So one of the most frequent questions a lot of people ask me is how I get my eyebrows done. Do I thread? Do I wax? Do I pluck? What do I do? So I actually thread my eyebrows with a little bit of plucking here and there. I definitely get my eyebrows professionally done, but as of lately, this past year, I haven't been really getting them done all that often. The last time I got my eyebrows done was probably about 6 months ago, so a really long time ago, and I just keep them up. I just tweeze here and there like any sparse hair, but I've been really liking the whole messy bushy eyebrow look. I just think that it suits me a little bit better, that's why I kind of just let them be. But as you guys can see, the shape is still there. The time where I would go get my eyebrows done, I would have a very prominent shape, but it would just be a little too thin. So now that I let my eyebrows really grow out to their full potential, every so often I'll go get them reshaped just to make sure that they're not looking too crazy. But these are my natural brows. I have nothing on my brow. I am Armenian, so we are born with a lot of hair. So I was born with kind of naturally thick eyebrows as is. So this tutorial is probably, it's not telling you how you need to fill in your brows or the right way to do it. This is just the way I do it. A lot of people like different kind of brows. Some people like the stylized brow, the really natural bushy brow, the very defined brow. I mean, it just depends on what you like. So I'm going to show you guys what products I use and how I do it. So I usually use 3 products and I always use these 3 products. I never really venture off into any other. It just doesn't interest me because I'm so happy with what I'm using. So the first thing is the ever so great, amazing product, the Anastasia Brow Pomade. If you are, like, any person could use this. If you're looking for the perfect brow product, this is it, you guys. I can't express to you how amazing this product is. When I first bought it, I bought the wrong shade and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I couldn't work with it. I didn't understand how to use the product. But after really learning how to use it from reps at Anastasia and all that stuff, I love this product so much. And then the brush that I use with that product is the Morphe M160 1/8 brush. I have literally 12 of these brushes. They're the best eyebrow brush I've ever used. They're just the right amount of like thickness without being like super thick, and they're not super thin either. So I love this brush and it's like $1. And then for concealing around, kind of cleaning up, I don't like that really concealed brow, so I like to use something that's very light in texture, and this is the Sephora Smoothing and Brightening Concealer. I love this because it already comes with a brush at the end of it, so I don't need to grab another brush and do that. So I just use this and you guys will see how I use it. So I love that, and this one is in the color Clear Light 02 and my pomade is in the color Dark Brown. I find that this just works for me. I don't want to use medium brown because it gets a little ashy on me. But just to answer a few questions, how do you know what product you're supposed to use? Because a lot of people ask me when I'm at work, how do I choose between a powder, a pencil, and a pomade? Basically, pencils and powders, well, powders are good for someone that really, you know, easy. At least for me, when I'm using a powder, it's just very easy. I just fill it in and I go. I don't really get super precise lines. And then pencils are great. They're awesome, but I just hate spending money on pencils because the Anastasia pencil is $21. It's impeccable, of course, but this is $18 and it lasts me honestly like a year, where the pencil is like 2 months, and I'm sure you guys can agree with me on that. Pencils just go by way too fast, so that's why I really just recommend this product, and I'll show you guys how to use it right now. So the key to using the pomade is basically taking most of it off of your brush. So when I dip my brush in here, I barely like touch it, like barely, and then what I do is I take my cap and I just brush off the excess in the cap. So this comes straight from the people that work for Anastasia, and they basically told me that this is the best way to use the product, and I totally agree with them. First thing I do is I kind of line underneath my brow, and I don't really thicken the brow underneath just because I don't really need to, but if you want to, you can go ahead and do that. But what I do is I follow the natural line of my eyebrow. So once I have that there, you guys can probably see it's not blended, but don't worry, at this stage it should just look the way it looks right now. So then of course I'm going to dip my brush again, and always remember it's really easy to use a lot of this product. So start off with a little bit, add more, start off with a little bit, add more. So then what I like to do with the product loaded on my brush, I go into my arch, and I know I do it in a really weird way because I know people work on their front, then go all the way back, but I really like to perfect my arch before starting the front of my brow. So I just go into where my arch naturally is, and I kind of outline, as you guys can see what I'm doing. I hope you guys can see. And I just do like long strokes where my arch is. And of course, depending on the day, sometimes I'll build up my arch really high, and then sometimes I'll just leave it the way it is. But the way to build up your arch is basically extend your brush a little bit further than where your natural hairs end. And then the end of that brow, I don't go really down because my hair is already pretty far down, but you can totally extend your brow as well. I know a lot of people on Instagram really extend it far, and I think it really matches them, but for me this is good. This is good enough for every day. So I just go again with my brush, and I kind of go underneath my arch one more time because I feel like I need more product there. And I'm just kind of perfecting my arch. And now to begin the work on the front of the brow. So what I do is I take my brush and I kind of flick up. And at this point my brush doesn't have a lot of product on it. There's barely any. But I just flick up, and this is to blend that line that we created. And then I kind of run through my brow without anything on my brush. So at this point, you can probably see that the line is kind of getting blended in. And then I'm going to load up my brush one more time. So now I'm going to go to the top of the brow. A lot of people skip this step, but this is a step that's really crucial for me. I think that it really ties my brow together. Although I love the look of done brows, I don't like it to look like I have like the square on my brow. I just don't. So I go very lightly with very light pressure. And then I draw a line, and I'm just blending whatever is left on my brush into my brow. Kind of fixing up my arch, and then blending back in the front as well. Now that I'm done with my brow, I usually just go in with my concealer, and I'll show you guys how I do that. Just very lightly, just to kind of clean up the edges where I kind of got a little messy. So I'll show you guys how I do that right now. So like I said, the cool thing about this concealer is it already comes with a very precise brush. So what I do is, the first thing I really fix is my arch. So I go in right there, and I just draw like a line like that. And then I'll go on to the top. Right here I go a little light. And then the bottom, now that I have that, and I'm not gonna lie, I usually use my fingers just to blend this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna use any fancy tools or anything like that. If you like a really precise line, then of course you can use like a very thin brush to kind of blend it out. But I don't really care that much, so I just blend it with my fingers. So there's the brow all done, all ready to go, and basically I'm gonna do my other brow as well, and I'll be right back. So here's both of my eyebrows all done and all ready to go. So that's it, you guys. That's basically how I do my brows. It's really easy when you do it. It took me like 2 seconds to do this eyebrow off camera, because once you get your technique down, it's just like super simple, and I'm done. And I usually do this, I know it's sad to say, but I usually do this every day. I'm a makeup junkie, so I do really love to look my best, especially with my eyebrows. I know that's kind of bad to say, but of course you can definitely tweak this routine to make it your own, so you don't have to really do the concealer, you don't really have to do the outline on the top, you don't have to use as much as product as I do, even though you guys probably saw I used like barely nothing. So it just goes to show that this product is extremely pigmented and you do not need a lot of it. I just wanted to add one more thing and say that don't worry if your eyebrows don't look the same. Eyebrows are sisters, not twins. Your eyebrows already grow in different directions anyway, so just the fact that you can get them remotely close by filling them in, hats off to you. No one is gonna come to you and say, oh my god, her eyebrows, one of the arches are higher. Like, what a loser. No one's gonna care because you look awesome anyway. So that's pretty much it. I will list everything that I use down below, along with my Instagram and all that good stuff. Please like up this video if you liked it and if you learned something, and comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!